Hey there, I'm Peter Michaels. We're at Beau's Bar and Stage and ready to talk about a very important event that's coming up at Beau's next week. That is the Vagina Monologues. Now, we'll let the 10-year-olds get their giggles out of the way. I'm sure every time you tell somebody, Melanie, you're involved with the Vagina Monologues, there's a little bit of giggles. Melanie and Brian from Undercurrent Brewing, tell us a little bit. I think the Vagina Monologues has been around for 21 years, okay? So I think everybody's got a pretty good grasp of what the show is about. Very important that this show is raising money locally for women. Tell us a little bit about the details on that.
Yes, so 100% of the proceeds this year are going to stay in Central Alberta. I'm working with the Soroptimist, so we're giving them all the money, and they're going to give it to organizations in Red Deer that work with women who have been impacted by violence. So they're looking at TANIS, the Sexual Assault Response Center, the Crisis Emergency Center, the Child Advocacy Center, and they're going to also include a scholarship that they're going to give to a woman who's been impacted by violence and is going back to school. So the money that we raise, we've already raised over $10,000, is going to go to those local supports in the community.
Absolutely incredible. And a community comes together totally for it because you also have all of the women that are going to be on stage doing the Vagina Monologues are all local girls that volunteered, might not necessarily come from acting backgrounds, but wanted to be involved.
Yeah, so we have 21 women in the cast, all from Central Alberta. A couple of them do have a theater background, but every one of them has been volunteering their time since October to perfect their monologue and get ready to go up on stage. Okay,
Brian, they come to you and say, hey, we want Undercurrent Brewing in Sylvan Lake to brew us a beer for the Vagina Monologues.
Yes.
What is your first thought and reaction to, what do I do for this?
Well, you know what, just going back to that, I mean, the way it happened is Mel and I were just sitting in the tap room with no intentions, just chatting. And then next thing we know, we're talking about brewing a beer. So it just kind of came naturally, organically. And I said, okay, you pick the style, because it's fun for us to try to make that happen.
Yeah.
And you pick the name. And so they came up with the name, the style, and then they brought in about 12 or 13 cast members on the brew day, and they had so much energy, and it was so much fun. So yeah, when you came to us, you said you wanted a milkshake IPA. And we had some raspberry puree, so we made this raspberry milkshake IPA called the Monkey Box.
Again, the 10-year-old giggles have to come out there a little bit.
Yeah, and so it was a lot of fun, just kind of pairing up with them and just having the cast members in there. They were there almost the whole day, and they got involved, and they took pictures, and yeah, it was a fun day.
I can only imagine the amount of laughs that would have happened in the brewery on that particular day.
And a lot of innuendo.
And a lot of innuendo as well. So that beer is going to be available during the evening. It's going to launch the evening of the Vagina Monologues.
That's right, February 6th.
So right now at Beau's, we're still staying in the raspberry family, but you guys have a raspberry sour on tap at Beau's.
We do. We have the Surly Sailor Raspberry Sour.
Say that again really fast.
Surly Sailor Raspberry Sour.
Thank you.
And and so we kind of did it off season. People think it's a summer beer, but you know what? People love sours all year round, and so we have that on tap right now.
Yeah, and you can't go wrong with raspberry at any time.
Yeah,
and then you also have the
we have a
stout.
Dark Pool Stout right now at Beau's.
Well, let's do a cheers to the Vagina Monologues and Undercurrent Brewing. This is going to be an amazing event, which is sold out.
Sold out.
Cheers. Yeah, I don't care if it's not 30 degrees out right now. That is unbelievable, no matter the temperature. Yeah. Raspberry sour, available. The name again, Brian?
The Surly Sailor Raspberry Sour.
Faster.
The Surly Sailor Raspberry Sour.
Perfect, okay. On tap right now at Beau's Bar and Stage. Thank you guys, and great job for the work that everybody is doing with the Vagina Monologues.